Hi, I'm Jennifer Thomas, and I'm the chair of the Grafton Select Board. On behalf of the Select Board and the town of Grafton, I'd like to welcome you to our 2020 virtual Memorial Day program. The tradition of Grafton's Memorial Day ceremonies is long and cherished. This year, due to the coronavirus, we must find new ways to honor our fallen military. I've always been moved by the sacrifices of our veterans. Over the years, I've witnessed many wreath ceremonies, I've heard taps fill the air in our cemeteries, and heard many 21 gun salutes. One memory that stands out to me involves Tyler Prout, who's the grandson of veteran Robert Prout. While we were waiting by the cannon at Sampson Square in South Grafton for the ceremony to begin, it became apparent that the person that was scheduled to read in Flanders Field was late. Tyler Prout, who must have only been 10 or 11 at the time, stepped forward and said that he could do it. He recited the poem from memory perfectly. There was something so moving and beautiful about hearing the familiar poem from his young voice. So now, instead of gathering together to pay our respects at the ceremonies in our cemeteries, we will go alone or in small family groups. And though we may be there alone, I will feel like the whole town is standing with me, because that's what we do here in Grafton. We stand together in times of hardship. On this Memorial Day, as we honor those who fell for us in battle, let's pause and also remember those who sacrificed their lives while serving others. Thank you for the freedoms that we are so blessed to have because of your service and the service of those who came before you. May God bless and watch over you. Thank you for joining us for this very special program.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
In Flanders Field, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, we felt dawn, we saw the sunset glow, loved, and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from falling hand we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with who must die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Field.
Thank you for joining me today. I know how busy and stressful everyone's life is right now as we try to battle this pandemic. But it's Memorial Day. It's a day of remembrance. It's a day for us to remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice on our behalf. Those individuals have given us the freedoms and rights that make us the envy of the world. They came together in a common goal, and they accomplished the unaccomplishable. Today, rather than being at picnics or parades or cookouts, we find ourselves practicing isolation and social distancing. far from the normal activities that we get to enjoy on Memorial Day. But we still need to remember. We need to remember the sacrifices that were made. So thank you for joining me today. And again, remember the purpose and meaning behind Memorial Day. Thank you.
On this special Memorial Day, grant peace and joy to all the men and women that died in all the wars to preserve our freedom. We know that your words to serve and give were lived to the fullest by these heroes. Lord, we ask that you bless all the families that suffered terrible personal losses of their loved ones. We pray that you watch over those who even now guard the gates of freedom. May they trust in your mighty power to accomplish each and every task, and then return home safely. Amen.
Hi everyone, it's State Representative David Moradian. I want to wish you all well on this Memorial Day 2020. I know it's not quite like all the past Memorial Days, and we're not able to do the typical services or ceremonies that we're accustomed to, which recognize the individuals who lost their lives. But that doesn't mean that we're not supposed to still do that. And even though we're virtual, and even though we're social distancing, and even though it's different for our community, for our Commonwealth, and for our country right now, we still must remember that Memorial Day is to pay respect to those, the brave men and women who laid their lives on the line and paid the ultimate sacrifice so we can live in the greatest country in the entire world. So please, if you see a veteran out there, please go and thank them for their service, because they are the ones who allow us to have these freedoms. The families of those who have fallen need to be in our thoughts and our prayers, and should continue to be. So please, enjoy your Memorial Day. Band together here, and we're going to come out stronger in the long run than we ever have been. So be well on Memorial Day. To our veterans, both near and far, thank you so very much for your service. And to those that pay the ultimate sacrifice, we have an unbelievable debt of gratitude to you that can never truly be expressed. So thank you.
It's the veteran, not the minister, who has given us freedom of religion. It's the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of press. It's the veteran, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It's the veteran, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It's the veteran, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It's the veteran, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It's the veteran who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protesters to burn the flag.
World War I, Alexander J. Bernardi, Franklin S. Clark, Alfred J. Demers, Louis J. Hitchings, Earl B. Stowe, Alfred J. Chapdelaine, William Delisle, George G. Gelano, Joseph Sampson, Frank L. Sweeney, Albert M. Usher. World War II, Alfred J. Bousquet, Raymond B. D'Orsi, Francis J. Denio, Joseph F. Goulet, Boleslaw Corona, Donald F. Lundgren, Joseph L. O'Bara, Ralph R. Parmenter, Gordon A. Scobie, Herbert C. Boynes, William F. Dulles Jr., Charles Gooch, George H. Jordan Jr., Emmett L. Ludy, Ernest S. Melanson, Armand R. Ouellette, William J. Schofield, and Robert W. Tompkins, Mitchell K. Wentz. Korea, Victor I. Gallerani.
As the Adjutant General of Massachusetts, I take great pride in my role as the primary military advisor to the governor and as a leader of nearly 9,000 members of the Massachusetts Army and Air National Guard. One of the duties I most enjoy is exactly what I'm doing today. Speaking of the importance of honoring and remembering our veterans, our military families, and the Gold Star families who truly represent the best that Massachusetts and America has to offer. Memorial Day is the most important holiday of the year for the military service members, our military families, and especially for the families of the fallen, the American heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of freedom and liberty. This holiday began in the aftermath of the Civil War, when the Grand Army of the Republic, a group of Union War veterans, organized an event in one state to decorate the graves of the war dead. The practice spread throughout the United States and became known as Decoration Day. Many years later, after World War II, Decoration Day became formally known as Memorial Day. Memorial Day is a somber holiday, one of remembrance and giving to dignified contemplation rather than joyous celebration. Each Memorial Day, we remember the fallen with a dignity and decorum befitting their sacrifice. It represents an opportunity for all of us to consider the price that has been repeatedly paid by our nation's military service members to ensure the existence and prosperity of our nation. Throughout our history, the American military has been called upon to defend the homeland and oppose the forces of tyranny. For every military member who sacrificed themselves in service to the country, there is a family and a community that has suffered an irreplaceable loss. And yet, even though Memorial Day represents our sadness for a sacrifice and a loss, it's not a day to be given over to despair and hopelessness. Rather, we are inspired that across our nation, each in our own way, to meet our responsibility to preserve our precious freedoms and ensure that our national commitment to liberty and democracy endures. This year, more than ever, on this Memorial Day, in the midst of a devastating pandemic, is proof of our nation's resilience and courage. While Memorial Day traditionally represents the yearly public gathering to commemorate and honor our nation's war dead, it is also a reminder that our military service members continue to serve at home and abroad at great risk. Although this year, Memorial Day public commemorations will be replaced by videos and social distancing events, we must remember that America still relies on an all-volunteer military force. Our country, our values, regardless of challenges and differences, is still producing young men and women who have both the steel in their backbone to fight and protect what our United States Constitution represents and to ensure that evil around the world will not prevail. Right now, 2,000 Massachusetts National Guard soldiers and airmen are serving throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in hospitals and nursing homes, caring for elderly, many of them veterans, administering COVID-19 tests all across the state, delivering personal protective equipment to our first responders, medical professionals, and grocery workers, delivering food and supplies to those citizens hit hardest by COVID-19, and ensuring every veteran who we have lost during COVID-19 receives a dignified military funeral honor as they are transported to their final resting place. As we commemorate in a different way this Memorial Day, I ask you to join our military service members and our fellow citizens at home and abroad in honoring and remembering our fallen brothers and sisters. Without regard to our many differences, Memorial Day represents unity and a common commitment to the values that will always guide our nation. One nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. May God bless the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and all its fallen heroes. May He bless now and forever the United States of America.
Oh, Ted, treason, huh?
My name is Stan Stapera, Commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 1497. This message is for the elementary school on Waterville Street in North Grafton. Every year, you have put on a dedication to veterans on Veterans Memorial Weekend. We know it's a difficult thing today because you're out of school. We're here today. We remember you. We can remember how you talked last year, the young kids giving beautiful sayings of our freedom. We will always remember it. And I have one last word. One last word to all the school teachers, all the students, the principal. This is my word. We will be back again.
My name is Carmen Paglione. I'm the commander of Post 92 American Legion. And I'd just like to say to all the people that are here today that I couldn't be prouder to be a commander of an Legion and affiliated with the VFW. And I'm so proud of the people of Grafton who show support every year for everything that we do. Thank you very much. And at that time, I'd like to present a certificate to someone very special. Robert Prout, Korean War veteran from the American Legion, Certificate of Continuous Membership, issued in grateful appreciation for faithful and dedicated allegiance to the ideals of the American Legion. Be it known that Robert H. Prout, a longtime and dedicated member of American Legion, Post 92, Department of Massachusetts, has been certified to have been a member in good standing continuously for 50 years. And be it further known that such record of consistent loyalty to the American Legion merits the honor of being cited as an outstanding contributor to the programs of the American Legion. In witness thereof, this testimonial of personal gratitude is given under the hand of National Commander and duly attested by the National Adjutant on this day. National Commander James W. Bill Oxford. National Adjutant Daniel S. Wheeler. Commander, Post 92, Carmen Paglione. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a proclamation. Whereas, while the nation was still recovering from the horrors of the Civil War, people in cities and towns across the country gathered to honor those Union and Confederate soldiers who had given their lives, celebrating the first Decoration Day. And, whereas, after World War I, the nation came together again to honor those who had fallen in the service of their country. Renamed Memorial Day, the last Monday in May is when people remember and honor the memory of all the men and women who fought and died in all American wars and conflicts. And, whereas, throughout our country's history, thousands of Massachusetts citizens have fought in wars and conflicts to defend our safety and way of life. And, whereas, their legacy of patriotism and dedication to country is an inspiration to all Americans. And, whereas, it is appropriate that all Massachusetts citizens remember the bravery of those who gave their lives so that their sacrifices serve as a reminder of the cost of our freedom. Now, therefore, I, Charles D. Baker, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim May 25th, 2020 to be Memorial Day, and urge all the citizens of the Commonwealth to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance, given at the Executive Chamber in Boston this first day of May in the year 2020, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 243rd. By His Excellency, signed, Charles Baker, Governor of the Commonwealth, Karen E. Polito, Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth, William Francis Galvin, Secretary of the Commonwealth. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Whoa!